Good day. Today is a good day. I've just discovered I'm now halfway through my 90-day run, and actually I'm over by 1 week. So it's week 7 of a 12-week run, and I've just uncovered the strategy and the approach that's going to see me through to victory. I basically know what my weekly focus should be. It's broken down. I know I need to identify the limiting belief that I'm working on, identify the empowering belief that I'm bringing in to support that. I know that it's about my life book. I know that it's about the writing and the work that I'm going to be doing to move myself towards that. And it's also about the tools I'm using that I'm getting from House of Her, the coaching academy that I'm a part of, and Peter Sage's Ultimate Self-Mastery program. You know, when I've gone into things in the past, let's not even talk about the past, talking about right here, right now, this phase in my life, right? When I started this 90-day run, on day 1, I expected I'm going in, I'm going to know what I need to do, and I'm going to smash it. My first day on this run was a disaster. I gave up. That was the day I collapsed, overwhelmed by everything I needed to do, crushed by it. I wasn't inspired or motivated, but I was crushed by it. And I was telling God that I'm giving up. I can't do this. I'm not doing it. And I was thinking of how I would scale back. And it was just minimized, such a minimized version. And he wasn't having any of it. If y'all remember, that was the day I had an intervention. Literally, in that moment, I was deciding in my heart and mind that I'm giving up and, you know, I'm just going to do this. You know, I had a knock on the door. A man knocked on the door. We had a conversation. Long story short, him and his pastor ended up coming through into my home and praying for me to step up and be the warrior that God has called me and created me to be. You know, I also in that process got the opportunity to get outside of myself by having the opportunity to be reminded that there are other people out there who are struggling, who are beaten down by anxiety, who are beaten down by depression, who seem to have good lives on the surface because they've got the job, they've got the house, they've got the family, but they're beaten down. And these are the very things I refuse to accept. Have I been there with depression with myself? Yes, I have. You guys will know that if you've been reading my post here on my page. But I refuse that. I refuse limitations of any and every kind. Seriously, I believe in God. I believe in his saving and transformative power. I believe that I do not need to be governed by fear or anything, right? Anything that we've come to accept as being normal as a human. I refuse that. And I don't believe that that is actually what it means to be truly human. I do not believe that he made us to live with fear, to live with anxiety, to live in or with depression. Now, I am a woman who has been bound by these things. It's my story, right? I'm in this place right now, being on this run, so I can eliminate these limiting beliefs because I want to be me. I cannot be me right now because I'm held back in every way, right? Okay, the shackles are loosening. But my point is, I don't say this from a point of victory. I don't say this as a woman who has realized her true self and overcome all these chains of limitations, belief, fear, and everything else. Please forgive my little boy. Inspiration took, and I'm recording this right here, right now. But my point is, I'm in the limitation. I'm in that place of limitation. It's 2 o'clock, y'all. It's almost 3 o'clock. I'm still in my pajamas, right? I haven't showered or done all of that jazz because my sleep pattern is whack. It's off, okay? Limitations. I'm living in the worst of it, okay? But, so I'm saying this to say, I'm not in a place of victory and saying, oh, I refuse, fear and doubt and anxiety. Listen, fear and doubt are the two things, are the two emotional states that govern my existence right now. I am shifting because of breakthroughs and experiences and a victory I had last week. I have already taken massive strides to eliminate the belief that says I can't, okay? But I still have a way to go. But my point is, hang on, Joshi, I'm almost done here. The point is that I'm in this place, right? doing this for myself to transform and liberate myself so I can be who I was created to be who I am. I'm already that, but I can't realize it right now. I'm doing it for me, but for others as well, you know? I want to testify and show what's possible, what's truly possible for us as human beings. However, I also want to help those who are beaten down by the same things I'm beaten down by. Or maybe they're beaten down by worse stuff, because realizing our potential isn't about a job, isn't about income, isn't about relationships with the people around us per se, right? Realizing our full potential is realizing what we are as beings, as created beings. We are limitless, but are we living limitless? No. So anyway, I'm on this path with God, and, you know, in true God fashion, he never shows up when we want him to or when we think the solutions should show up. I started this run, and on day one, I expected that, yeah, I'll know what I need to do, I'll get going, because then I've got 89 days to smash it. But no, you know, today, it's Tuesday, so day 44, right? We're on day 44 of a 90-day run, almost at the halfway point, actually, looking at it in terms of days, almost at the 45, the midpoint. This is when God shows up and helps me realize, understand exactly the areas I need to focus on. I've got the plan. I've got the real plan now. So I can, week by week, focus. And you know what I wanted to say as an encouraging word? This didn't just happen. I didn't just wake up today having been living the life I was living prior to the 1st of October and have all this insight. I've been working. Yeah, I've been sleeping at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. Yeah, things are off in my life. But I've been putting in the work that needed to be put in. I've been reading the books. I've got my game plan here from my lovely coach, Laura Lyles, right? She put together an inspired book list for us, reading one book a week. And I have read all of those books, including this week's book. I finished it literally like 30 to 45 minutes ago. And as a result of the books I've read and the gems, the insights that were in there, I've got the pieces of the puzzle that I've needed. They've got to work in my mind, interacting with the presence of God in me, his Holy Spirit, infusing and mixing it together to create that unique blend that is going to help me accomplish my goal. That's going to help me accomplish my goal of eliminating my limiting beliefs. I've been attending coaches' classes every week. I've been doing Peter Sage's Ultimate Self-Mastery Program, barring last week, because I was just busy catching up on all my reading, right? In case you don't know, I read 4 books in 1 week, last week. And I was the woman who was like, I can't read a book a week. What? But I read 4 books last week. 4 books. What is it?
We can play this SpongeBob game on the laptop.
Oh, okay. I'll look for it later then. Okay. Yeah, I'm the one. I'm the one who's saying I can't last week about books. On this run, I read the first book. I managed to read within a week because it was an audio book, and I pushed. I scheduled the time for the 7 hours that it lasted, and got it done. The second book was hard copy. It was Psycho-Cybernetics. I read that in 2.5 weeks. That was the least amount of time I'd spent, I'd taken to read a book, and I was proud of myself. I've gone from picking up books and not finishing them, taking a month or longer to read them and finish, and it not happening still. Do you know what I mean? So 2.5 books was good, and, I'd been saying to myself, oh, that's good enough, No, it's not good enough. When the assignment is to read a book a week, people, girlfriends, I moved things last week, and that was absolutely incredible, phenomenal. But only because I did the work. I created the intention, I focused on it, and I allowed my decision making to revolve around that. I made that a priority. Why am I saying all this? I've kind of gone off track. I just wanted to highlight the fact that none of this has been made possible by just doing what I've always done before. I've had the plan in front of me. I'm in this coaching academy. My coach has devised this game plan. She's put together this book list. I've just showed up and I've done the work. Literally, I've just showed up and done the work. And now I'm here. I'm able to receive what God has had for me. He couldn't give me this on the 1st of October. And that's when I wanted it. That's when I thought I needed it. But you know what? I've got it now. On day 44, I've got the plan. And I could complain about, why didn't I have the plan back then? But that's not even an option for me, because I understand how things need to be. I understand that I had to go through the last 6 weeks, to get to this point where I could receive the plan, know that, phew, I've got the plan, I'm ready, I'm good to go. Last week's book was Deep Work by Cal Newport. I'm ready to go deep. I've already posted about how I want to go to the library and gym in the morning and do my deep work. That hasn't happened yet. I intended for it to, hold on please, Josh. I intended for it to happen on Monday. That was my intention and plan. But I also overlooked the fact that I'm not ready for that. How can I shift from sleeping at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. to all of a sudden getting up at that time? That was short-sighted and ignorant on my part. But I'm recognizing that. And my question for myself this week is, why do I do what I do? Right? Why do I wake up and just hang about? And then after a little while, then I'll get up. And then I'll hang about. And then I'll go get some food. And then I'll hang about. What is going on in the spaces? Why do I do that? And until I can figure that out, I can't crack this plan. I can't get myself up and take myself out at 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning, okay? But now's the time. And this week, that is my focus, looking at that so I can unpick it and create a plan that's actually going to work. I can actually address the things that are holding me back in something as small as waking up every morning and going about my way. So I just wanted to share the fact that he has a plan. He is here to help us. He's helping me. And it doesn't happen when I think it will. It doesn't show up when I think it should. But as I'm seeing, it shows up when it needs to, when I'm actually ready. If he dropped this on me, the plan, because he can give me a download. He can just infuse that information, that knowledge. I can just wake up knowing that this is what I need to do. But on the 1st of October, I couldn't handle that. I didn't have any victories to say that I could, that I can. But last week I got my victory that says I can. I can do anything that I set my mind to. Because all I have to do is create the intention. All I have to do is focus my mind on my affirmation about that. See it, feel it, know it's real. And it does the rest. The magic just happens. It does something in me that pulls me forward, moves me towards it. I felt that last week. I felt the pull and the desire to read the books. All I had to do, I say all, but my role was to be disciplined. Experience the inspiration and be disciplined. Read the book. Even when I didn't want to. Even when I was tired. Even when it wasn't easy. Reminding myself of what I wanted to achieve, that I didn't want it to get to the end of the week and I haven't read the books as I told my accountability group that I would. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want that to be my outcome. I was choosing every step of the way, but it was within a framework. Create the intention, have the affirmation, create the affirmation, focus on it, remind myself of it, think on it, bring myself back to it in those times of difficulty and challenge, and do the work. This week's book is Relentless, and it's about keeping going. It's about not making excuses. It's about continually moving forward to be who you truly want to be and doing what you truly want to do and having what you truly want to have. It's about taking stock of what needs to be done and getting it done. I identify as what Tim, calls a cleaner. Not because I have all the attributes he describes in his book. That's Tim Grover, by the way, author of Relentless. But because I'm seeing it. Listening to that book, I listened to the majority of it yesterday. I finished off the remaining part of it this morning. So a day and a bit to read one book. Still incredible for me. But I identify as a cleaner because I'm cleaning up. I'm cleaning up all the work that needs to be done. I'm cleaning up all the mess, right? I've got tasks hanging on that, have been hanging on from last week or the weeks before. I'm cleaning that up because it's all in the name of this progress I'm doing. Because I could sit back and be like, this is a lot. And I've just sat down planning out, now that I've got this focus of how I need to manage my weeks, I've identified, I've written down, I've been honest with myself, and I've been like, what do I need to achieve with my life book to be where I need to be at right now? What do I need to achieve with the writing to be where I need to be at right now? And I say I'm being honest, it's a tough call. Ultimately, it's a tough call because the truth is it's a lot of work. It's a 20-minute voice memo that I recorded with my thoughts and inspiration. It's going through that and typing that up. So I've got that in front of me. It's going deep on some experiences I had last week financially that are going to help me evoke the thoughts, the feelings that are going to shape and define the character that I'm going to bring to life on the pages of my story. It's finishing up typing a voice memo that's like 5 minutes long. That's easy. But that's 3 tasks, 2 of which are hugely significant and time consuming, which, to be honest, when I was sitting down to be truthful about what needs to be done, I didn't actually want to confront that. I wanted to actually be like, I've already got quite a lot of things to catch up on, because with Lifebook, I've got 3 categories to address. I didn't finish. Josh, can you turn the volume down, please? I didn't finish my work on the love relationship, which I was supposed to do last week. And incidentally, I didn't finish it because of limiting thoughts, limiting beliefs. I didn't want to look at that area of my life because I've got some old hang-ups and issues there. So I didn't. But now, this week, when I'm looking at parenting, I've still got to finish the love relationship. And incidentally, these are 2 of the most challenging areas of my life. Parenting, the love relationship, and finance as well, probably, career. But parenting and love, those are the toughest areas for me to look at. And I have reneged. I've dragged my feet. I've allowed my limiting beliefs to get in the way and hold me back. And look how they've held me back. I've now got 2 heavy categories to deal with in the space of 1 week. But in true cleaner fashion, I'm not backing down from that. Because this is the other element to what I wanted to talk about, is that because of the point in time I've got this game plan, right, this strategy for myself, day 44. Josh, can you turn the volume down, please? It's still too loud. It's day 44. I could be like, I can't, I've got too much work to do. It's too much to do. I can't do it. Or all right, yeah, I'll be honest with myself, and I will write down everything that I know truly needs to be done to move me forward. But it's a lot for 1 week, so I'll just put some of it onto next week. I could be like that. According to Tim Grover, that would probably make me a closer, right? I analyze the risk. I analyze the weight of things. I don't want to stress myself out too much. I don't want to put too much pressure on myself. So I'm like, no. Yeah, let's see what I can put to next week. But here's the thing. I'm a cleaner. I'm going to clean this up. The same way I read 4 books in 1 week, which I would have believed was absolutely impossible, right? I'm going to clean up. I'm going to get the job done, because what is this about? It's not, it's about defying limitations. Let me say that. I was about to say a negative statement. It's about defying limitations. It's about saying, I refuse to be held back by limits. 50 Cent said, get rich or die trying. Yeah. Point is, do it. Let's do it. I'm going to do it and see what happens, right? And I say see what happens because sometimes that pressure can be too much and it can straight up cause me to freeze. I don't want to freeze. I want to keep moving. I want to keep it moving. But I say that so the chimp in me, that's from The Chimp Paradox, by the way, Dr. Steve Peters, excellent book. My chimp will freak out from the pressure, so I'm not trying to have her do that. I need to stay in the game. I need to keep this moving. But I know what's going to happen. When I say I can, when I say I'm doing it, when I say I am doing all this work and getting it done and cleaning up, I'm going to get it done. It's going to happen. Not because I'm so incredible and I'm a super powered human being. It's just because it's the nature of how it works. Put the seed into the ground, water it, give it sunlight, it's going to grow. This is what I'm talking about. My intention is my seed. The ground is beingness. It's God. It's life. It's the universe. It's, I'm creating my intention. I'm holding it. I'm focusing on it. That's my seed in the ground, and the universe, God, and life is receiving it, and they're like, "Oh, I see you want to do something. I see you want to grow. Okay, let's do this." And then when I focus on that intention, I'm watering it. When I embrace that positive feeling that comes along with my affirmation, I'm letting the sun shine. And I'm like, bring the heat. It's not so much heat that it's going to kill my seed. It's enough heat with power, focus, and intensity that's going to cause that thing to vroom and grow, extraordinarily, like Jack's beanstalk. It grew overnight. I saw changes overnight last week as a result of getting my seed, creating that intention, putting it in the ground, making the commitment, the decision, watering it, focusing on it, having that positive feeling as I visualize the end result. Vroom. Life, universe, nature, God did the rest. So I can do it, and I have a long list of stuff to do this week, and I'll probably take a picture and write down everything I'm tackling this week, but I can do it, and I will do it. God is with me, and I am with him, and he's the God of I can. Impossible is nothing for him. So that's all I wanted to share. It went a lot further and deeper and longer than I intended, but it's so important to me to capture this journey, to demonstrate that from the bottom, you can surely come up. You can surely come up, because it's not about what we think it's about. Sometimes it's not about how much resources we have. It's not about our circumstances being favorable. It's only ever about us. As Jim Rohn said, the major key to your better future is you. And he tells us to emphasize the major and you. Major in you. You are the major factor. I am the major factor. I would venture to say I'm not special in that respect. I know I am special because I'm willing to do the work. I'm doing it. I'm moving myself forward. I'm believing. I'm choosing to believe where I could choose to fear or doubt. That's what makes me special. That's the only thing that makes me special. Otherwise, I'm just like anybody else. So I hope you'll be encouraged if you've watched this all the way to the end. The things I've done, anyone can do by choice.